Hello, Crossroads, and welcome again to Going Deeper as we finish up our series on your mark. September has arrived, and we are trying to be intentional about how we prepare for this new season. And we've talked about setting or resetting our hearts and our priorities. And this week we finished up by talking about how to reset our emotions. And that may be one that feels out of place in terms of our spiritual discussions. I've heard people say that, well, feelings are not a part of what you need to pay attention to, or, faith over feelings and that kind of thing. There's some truth in that. But what I know to be true is that I do a lot of things because of the way I feel. That my mood can sometimes dictate how I interpret a situation, or even how I treat a person. And so we want to not discard or discount our feelings, nor do we want to let them have the final say in who we are and what we do. And so turn to the book of Proverbs, which talks a lot about the connection between your heart and your mind and your feelings. Because every feeling is attached to a thought. We don't have feelings without a thought producing them. Now, that doesn't mean the thought is true. It just means that it's helpful often to trace the feeling back to, well, what's the thought that prompted that. There's a lot to be said, and I just want to take these few verses in Proverbs chapter 16 and apply them to our feelings. Starting in verse 18, it says, "Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before the fall." It talks about the way that we see ourselves and others, and how that eventually will either reap blessing or destruction. Then verse 19, "Better to be lowly in spirit as opposed to prideful, along with the oppressed, than to share the plunder with the proud." Now, this is an interesting concept, that it is better to be humble, even though things aren't going as you would expect them or choose for them to go now, rather than have some of the things go well now, but your spirit, your heart is in the wrong place. "Whoever gives heed to instructions prospers, and blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord." Then verse 21, "The wise in heart are called discerning, and gracious words promote instruction." Well, we could keep going here, but the connection is that our feelings are connected to our heart, our will, our spirit, and also our physical bodies, and also our relational context. And so to ignore them would be to set ourselves up for failure in those areas. But to allow them to direct everything that we do disregards our spiritual and relational parts of us as well. So there's this integration that I think the book of Proverbs wants us to embrace. That it's not all feelings, but it's not feelings either. And how to let God redeem the way that you deal with your feelings. You will have some feelings this week. I guarantee it. And my prayer is going to be that, one, you take those to the Lord, you pay attention to them, you own them. And then second, that you figure out what thought produced that feeling. Is that true or not? Allow God's word to speak truth into you, and surrender those feelings to Him. We're on the journey together, and I'm going to pray that God meets us right where we are. Have a great week. God bless.